Dear viewers, we have a very special guest, Mr. Fayosal Chowdhury, MB, MSP. He is a member of Parliament in Scottish Parliament and Shadow Minister of Culture, Europe and International Development. So welcome to our NRB Connect studio. We want to hear something from you, your entrepreneurial journey and then also political journey. If you can start with, your from the very beginning, how did you go to UK and Scotland, and then where you started your journey?
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum, viewers. Thank you very much for having me. It's really a pleasure to talk to you. Yes, my name is Fayosal Chowdhury. I'm a member of the Scottish Parliament. I am the only Bangladeshi born member of the Scottish Parliament, and I am originally from Bangladesh. I was born in Nabiganj, Habiganj, as you pronounce under Sylhet. My younger age, I studied in Habiganj Government High School. I was in class 8 when my dad brought me and my family to UK. We were in Manchester for a little while. Then I think you know my uncle, Dr. Walid Tasaruddin. He used to live in Edinburgh. Yes. So he said we should move to Edinburgh because there's good universities and education facilities in Edinburgh. So we all moved to Edinburgh, and I was studying in Edinburgh. While I was studying, my dad health was not very good. He had an health issue, and he was in hospital for 21 days. And during that time, I was in my second year at uni. I decided that I have to move into the family businesses to make sure that there's no pressure on my dad, because I had 5 little sisters and a little brother. So after that, I started business with my uncle, and I got involved with community activities.
Wonderful.
And during that time, when I was in school, in my school life, I was the head boy in my school. I was the student representative. I was the first Scottish multicultural youth chairman, and I captained our local football team. I was a badminton champion for a very long time. I used to get involved with fundraising and charities from my school life. And when I got involved in businesses, especially my uncle Wali, he's always been a community activist, and he's always been a fundraiser charity, and I used to follow him everywhere. I've learned everything more or less from my parents and my uncles. One of my uncle who lives in Manchester is also a very community worker. Ghulam Mustafa died a few years ago. He was also an MBE, like my uncle Walid Tasaruddin is an MBE too. MBE is a member of the British Empire. Those are the people who gets MBE are the one who works very hard with the community. So when I joined businesses and promoting Bangladeshi culture, like Shadi Mata Divos, Independent Bijoy Divos, like 16th December, 21st February, I automatically, became a servant for the community. So I thought, if I do Bangladeshi politics in the UK, I won't be able to help the community. So this is when I decided that I'll join a mainstream party, mainstream politics. So I joined the Labour Party. And now you can see in 2021 I was elected, and with the blessings of Allah and prayer from all my community members like yourself.
Thank you very much. Well, this is a great example of leading our heritage, our country, and then promoting our country, our Bangladesh, in the mainstream. And the journey was not easy. You worked very hard, and especially you started with volunteer work. So tell us something about your volunteer work. Like, let's say, and I have seen also in United States of America for a long time, and I have seen people spend time in volunteer activities from their early childhood even. But I have not seen that much in Bangladesh. Can you elaborate volunteer activities?
Yes, as I said, in my young age when I was at school, when you have family members like my dad, my uncles, who's always been helping the community, working with the community, I've learned it from them and I followed them. And when I was in school, I did fundraising for Ethiopia, St. Columbus Hospice, Heart Foundation, local children hospitals, leukemia and cancer appeal, refugees. And every month I used to find a
Right. So how can we promote these volunteer activities effort in Bangladesh?
It's very easy. Everybody, say for people like yourself, who is established, have to think that it is our responsibility to help other people in every way. For example, if you are, I visited your university, and I've seen the work you do, how you go beyond your limit to help anybody struggling financially or language or whatever barrier they have. This is a volunteer work, because what you're doing is making sure that all the students who comes to your university learns the education they want to learn, same time the help they need. And when a person needs the help and gets the help, it helps them to study. So it takes a lot of burden away. So that's a volunteer work. During the pandemic, I'm the chairman of Edinburgh and Lothian Regional Equality Council. I did notice that a lot of people have money, but there was loads of other issues, like you cannot get out, you can't do shopping for old people, etc., etc. So I went to the office and I spoke with a few colleagues and said, guys, let's start helping the people who need our help. By the third day, I had more than 70 people joining me. So what we did was we went down to people's houses. If they need milk, food support, whatever, we've been doing that, and I've done it for 18 months.
Like, we have a severe crisis in Bangladesh, like blood victims, right? And I have seen that people from all over the world, and including also inside the Bangladesh, they are jumping on it. They are helping each other, and then people lost their family members, they lost their house, they lost their wealth, they lost their everything, they lost their hope. So in this crisis situation, even if we are staying in different countries, if we can extend our help.
I'll give you an example. I was very young when the cyclone happened in Bangladesh.
1991.
I think there was another one before that.
88, I think.
Yeah. During that time, I was at school, and when the community organized fundraising, we all went in the streets collecting money for Bangladesh. During that time, we raised, my uncle and my dad and the community, local community, were heavily involved. We raised about £141,000 during that time. with that money, the community from Edinburgh went to Chittagong and built a shelter named Scottish Bangladeshi Shelter, and built a school as well. During CEDAR, I was heavily involved with our community members. We did enough fundraising. We went to Burguna, Shoshatuli and Lothakata, and we built 40 houses and 2 mosques, I think. So wherever we are, UK or United States, when anything like this happens, we are always there to help and support. And same time, you're doing it now, I'm doing it now, and others are doing it. So I know the situation in Bangladesh is not looking good. It's not. The flood has destroyed a lot of places in Bangladesh, especially Feni, and even the water is going down. But a lot of people have lost everything.
Everything, yeah. So we can help them, and then also we can send the remittance. We can do the FDI,
But one thing, Doctor, we need to do is we have to find a solution.
Oh yeah.
Because since my very young age, I've seen floods are happening in Bangladesh, and we need to find a solution. We need to help the government of Bangladesh. And I think they have to take an initiative. It's like a lot of students are studying all over the world. Bangladeshi students are studying Canada, USA, Australia, UK, Scotland, everywhere. But when it comes to working for the community, I always find that we have to hire companies from Japan or China or America or UK. So I would say that if the hard work our students are doing all over the world, including your universities, we need to tell them that once they have completed their education, they need to go back to the country and help and support, because they will be a better help than you and I, because you've asked me that how we can help.
Sure.
So I think that those people will be more, because they will be in the field. You and I can help them financially from here, because you live in USA, I live in UK. I'm a politician in UK. My priority is my constituency people, but same time, because I'm my parents are from Bangladesh. I was born in Bangladesh. I do have a connection. When I was elected in the Scottish Parliament, I noticed that there was not a cross-party group for Bangladeshis. For other countries were there, so I created a cross-party group.
Okay.
And then last year I took that group where I had colleagues from Scottish National Party, Conservatives, Labour Party, Lib Dems. I took my colleagues to Bangladesh. We visited Rohingya refugee camp. We are trying to see how we can work together, how we can share ideas, how we can learn from each other.
Even though you are in
this is the answer to your question.
Sure. Even
how
though
we can
you are
help.
in Scotland, but still you are helping everywhere. I have seen that you came all the way from Scotland to here, to meet, to do the network, to meet, to encourage other Bangladeshi community members in here too, business leaders too. So we appreciate that you came here. But one thing I saw that, like staying in USA, people are leveling themselves. Like they said, you are BNP, you are Awami League, you are Jamaat, and you are like different kind of Jatiya Party, something like that. But we are not actually putting ourselves in American mainstream or mainstream politics, right? In that way, we are depriving ourselves, because recently you can see that Bangladeshi community are also coming up for to be a councilman, senator. Yesterday you saw you met some senators, Bangladeshi senators. and also they are working in the American mainstream too. So we should actually encourage it. Do you think it should in that way we can lobbying our Bangladeshi people? In that way we can promote our Bangladeshi culture and then mainstream into the mainstream arena. So what do you think?
I'm glad you've raised this because to me, Alhamdulillah, in UK we have 5 parliament members, 4 sisters and myself. But if you go to the council, we have over hundreds of councillors all over in every city you go. Even in Scotland, we have, and a lot of people are joining the mainstream politics. And I think after our generation, people will not be very much interested with their local politics, like from Bangladesh politics. I totally agree, and I've always been telling people and encouraging people wherever I go that the Bangladeshi politics is dragging us back in outside Bangladesh, like UK or USA, because the Bangladeshi politics, as you said, that they're labeling themselves as an Awami League or BNP, Jatiyo Party or Jamaat or whatever. But by doing that, they're not becoming Bangladeshi. If you're not Bangladeshi, you won't be able to help another Bangladeshi. And same time, if you go, oh, you're from Sylhet, or you're from Dhaka, we're labeling them by their by their district. So the only way to move forward is when you get involved with mainstream politics.
Yeah.
You can help your community locally because there is loads of issues comes up all the time in your schools or your political arenas where you can get involved. You will have a voice. If you have a voice of Bangladeshi politics, there is no voice.
So we should come up with one mission, one vision, one Bangladesh.
Correct.
Like wherever we are, we will be united, and then basically in parallel with involving into the mainstream
and help and support. So for example, for example, if you're doing well, I mean, I haven't seen another Bangladeshi person having an university in Washington. Yourself, you have an university where you have more than 1,000 Bangladeshi students. So this sort of things, if we promote and if people know that if Brother Hanif can do that.
Thank you very much for
we need to share this.
We are very glad that you visited our campus and you met our faculty members and presidents and others. Since 2005, I had started People and Tech Institute of Information Technology, through which I provided job to more than 10,000 Bangladeshi people into American mainstream who were not making even $50,000. Now they have opportunity to make $150,000. Yesterday I have seen one of my students.
That's a community work.
And he said that he's making now $270,000.
Wow.
And he wanna finish his master degree from our university. So I had a chat with him. He was our student. So this is how it works. Like
this is exactly what we should be doing, promoting our success, telling our success story. This is why when you said that I travel everywhere, the reason I travel everywhere is I want to give this message to the Bangladeshi community people that even though we are born in Bangladesh, you can be a vice chancellor of an university, you can be a politician, you can be. I met that young boy who became Senate yesterday, and I was so happy because this is the voice for the Bangladeshi community in American mainstream politics. You have people like me in UK mainstream politics. So yes, I totally agree that we need to come out of the local politics and local regional issues.
Exactly, wonderful. So one thing I observed that in USA, obviously it is Germany, UK, Scotland and all others, you will see the systems are strong and leaders cannot manipulate that system. Like in USA, you cannot manipulate or you cannot utilize your personal gain, like Department of Justice or FBI or CIA or Election Commission, like that. But in our country, like underprivileged country like Bangladesh, India, and our South Asian countries, you will see leaders are strong. They are manipulating the system. They are using government machineries, for their personal gain, like that. So that when system collapse, like when leaders fall down, then system also collapse because there is no system. But in this country, when leader gone, but still it is functioning. So we want to hear some comments from you.
I mean, if you talk about Bangladesh is only
53 years old.
53 years old. When you talk about America or United Kingdom, we need to share. This is exactly what I was trying to do. What I'm trying, that we need to share each other's ideas. We need to learn from each other. And I totally agree that the justice system, the law system, should be separate. That no politician, that no politician, or even the election commission, no politician, even ministers or whoever you are, should have any say on their work. So that they should be independent. And Bangladesh is a young country. It's going through a lot of difficulties. This is where I think people like yourself, myself, and other politicians need to get involved whatever way we can, and if any help is needed,
So wherever are the solution, we should follow it. Like as you said, the United States of America is more than 200 years old, right? Like their constitution, their policy, and all others.
And they're always updating.
And they are updating, right? So if Bangladesh is 53 years old, right? But they can get this kind of system.
We need to change our attitude. We need to admit if we are making a mistake. We need to admit that we are making a mistake, and we need to learn from our mistake. We cannot repeat.
For example, in here, like if you are a member of parliament, right? Then if your son or your daughter or your wife wants to come into the politics, definitely it should be going through the system and then primary and others. But in Bangladesh, I have seen that, okay, someone is minister or MP, and then maybe he wants to, or upper management wants to, or upper leaders wants to help their sister or brother or sister or son, daughter, or even wife to come into. So directly they nominate them.
It is very, very clear. You need to come out of that. It doesn't even work in business, never mind politics.
Yeah.
So if you are a good businessman, it's not guaranteed that your son or your daughter will be a good. So I think it should be up to, if you're qualified enough, if you're good enough to do the business or the politics, you should be elected and you should be selected by the party. And there's have to be a procedure.
Right.
It shouldn't be that you're a son of so and so, that's why you should be the member of the parliament, or you should be the candidate. So there's got to be procedures, and that procedures need to be followed. And this is where you need the local members need to get involved.
Exactly.
So if the members said no, I don't want that person as my candidate, they should have their voice as well. So there's got to be a change, constitutional change.
You must observe that, like, there is no democracy within their party.
I wouldn't say there is no democracy.
No. I'm not saying that.
But there is, the procedures need to be updated.
No, what I said that, not in the country. What I said that there is no democracy within their party level. As a result, one is like 45 years or 40 years chairman in the party. So there is no other leaders.
I know what you're saying, but I think that's why I said that you have to have a policy.
Yes.
If the policy said that you cannot have the highest post for 2 years or 2 terms, that should be. And I always believe that you have to give a chance to a
you have to have other leaders.
Yeah, and you always have to come up with fresh ideas. Yes. Having a same leader for years and years is good, but not. It's not giving another person a chance with fresh ideas.
Exactly, right. In United States of America, there should be a limit, and then 2 terms could be,
Yeah, no, I'm totally in favor of that, because I think that there's got to be, and I agree that if you're the son of a businessman, you should become a businessman, or if you're a son of a politician, you should be a politician. It should be, if you're qualified enough.
So in that way, it is like family oriented.
No, family.
It should not be.
We need to get out of this. Any successful business is successful if they follow the rules, and we have to follow the rules, and the rules are, we have to create the rules. And
so tell us something about you are the shadow minister for culture, Europe and international development. We want to hear something from that.
As you probably know, that in Scotland we have the government where if they do anything wrong, or if they're not doing anything right, where the oppositions, we are always bringing it up, we are always challenging them.
Right.
We always say that they have to make it right. Myself, regularly I have meetings with the cultural organizations. Internationally I'm meeting ambassadors, high commissioners and others. So regularly I'm trying to see how we can make our relationship better, how we can serve the community, and if I feel that something the government is not doing right, I will bring it up in the parliament. I will raise questions, I'll ask questions, and I'll push it until it is corrected. And I think that should be done in every other country as well, because you cannot have a good government if you don't have a good opposition.
So in here I'm saying like international development.
Yeah.
What you are emphasizing on that?
Well, this is why I'm here. This is where I go to Bangladesh, I go to, it's just like learning from each other, how we can share ideas, how we can work together. At the moment, the climate issue is a major issue all over the world, because you can see the climate changes. So this is another thing we are prior. Like refugees, I've been fighting for the refugees as well.
I know that also you promote education, and you have a lots of philanthropic activities also in education system and all others. If you can elaborate something.
Since I was elected, I've been visiting schools, talking to students to find out. I think this is one subject very close to my heart, because I feel that there's a lot of things missing from education when you are learning, like colonialism, about racism. I feel that countries like Western countries, we are still behind. We need to learn a lot of things, and I feel that we should be teaching people about other people's culture, the history of the country from very young age. And these are the things I'm always trying to talk to the schools, colleges, universities, to see where they're lacking on and what is missing.
So what is your future goal?
My future goal is obviously to serve the community,
in a bigger scale.
Well, I'm happy, alhamdulillah, I'm happy with where I am. Of course, I will be, I'm elected till 26.
Okay.
If the party decides to give me a chance again, I will go for election again in 26. And during that time, I will need blessings and dua from people like yourself and whoever is watching. And if you feel that I have done the work I should be doing, and as I said, an elected person's job is to serve the community.
So do you have any suggestion, advice to the younger generation as far as mainstream politics and
Definitely.
contribution, and then dedicating themselves among others, betterment of life?
I've always said to people, when we were growing up, our parents always used to say that I want to make my kid a doctor or an engineer or an accountant or a lawyer. I've never seen any of our parents from Bangladeshi background said that I want to make my son a politician or a footballer or a sports person. Things are changing now. Now in UK we're third, fourth generation. In America you're probably second or third generation. So our people are getting involved in mainstream politics, and I do feel that if you become a doctor or an engineer, you're still relying on policymakers to give you the right job or the good job, or to fight for the right job or good job. So you have to have people who is involved in policy making, listening to people, and you cannot be a policymaker if you're not involved in mainstream politics. You cannot make any changes or differences if you're not involved in mainstream politics. So my advice to people is please do get involved with your local community, local politics. If you want to help your community, if you want to help your country, where your parents are from and where you live, you need to get involved.
You visited our university, Washington University of Science and Technology. Basically, yes, we are a small private university, but we come up with a solution, because traditional university, they provide the degree, but in the industry, when students look for a job, even entry-level job, they ask for some sort of skill, and which is missing. As a result, there is not that much skilled, unskilled job or entry-level job. So we come up with a solution: degree, skill, and job, triple mission. As a result, people are getting benefit out of it, and more than 1,000 students from Bangladesh, they are studying in our university, and especially when they come to USA, 30 to 40% student cannot continue their study because of there are many reasons. But alhamdulillah, in our university, 100% students from Bangladesh, I have seen that they are studying because we are motivating them, we are helping them, and then we are very affordable. So you visited us, and then you talk with our university president and faculty members, and we are happy that you visited us. What are your comments and what is your advice, suggestions regarding our activities in Washington University of Science and Technology?
What I've learned yesterday, I was really impressed, and I've seen the work. I've met majority of your team members. I've spoken to them, and I saw what support they're giving. One thing I've always noticed that when in UK, when a student is studying, applying to get a place in a good university, they're always looking for their what work they have done, where work experience, etc., etc. What I do is I open my door for them. Even when I was involved in Equality Council, I used to take them as a volunteers so they can learn. Now what I do is, any students who wants to see how a politician works, they can shadow me for a week or 2 weeks, or they can get involved with my caseworker or policy worker, so they can learn and use that as their CV. But what I've seen yesterday is the support you give them helps them to get a job. And this is exactly going back to what you've said earlier, that how we can help and what is the voluntary work. And I think you are already doing that, and carry on. And I think people like yourself need to be going to other seminars, talking to people, sharing your ideas. And if a replica can be done in other countries, you can help the local community and your birth community. So well done, and I think I'm impressed with the work you're doing in your university and the staff you have.
Thank you very much. Viewers, you see the example, a live example, and even though he is in Scotland, but he is in USA, basically doing workshops, seminar, networking, helping people, and sharing his idea, motivating other people. What an example! He did not born in Scotland or UK, but he born in Bangladesh, but he still, went to UK and then went through so many struggle, now successful, and then in the mainstream. Imagine. So this is an example. If our generation born in USA or UK or Scotland or wherever, if they involve in American or any mainstream politics, right, that could be helpful for themselves, because in that way they can serve so many people. Because once you are in the policymaker team, then definitely you can do something special. This is how it works. This is what we learn from him. That is the reason we need to merge ourselves into the mainstream politics, right? And then also he agreed with the system and leaders, right? So we need to follow how the system works in the first world country, and then we should adopt, our Bangladesh should adopt that way, so that they can be benefited out of it. And then another thing is like volunteer activities. That volunteer activities could be from the school level, college level, university level, and wherever it is, and everywhere people can do volunteer activities. It is a wonderful opportunity, very rare opportunity, to have a chat with Shadow Minister of Scotland and elected official member of parliament, and then he came all the way from Scotland to USA just to share his idea, to promote others, to help others and do the networking, and then talking with the businessman and sharing his ideas, inspiring others. It is an example. We salute it, and it is an example. We should follow it. And then the unique conversation that we have, the practical conversation we have with him, like for volunteer activities, mainstream politics, system and leaders, and then helping, dedicating yourself for others, to change people's lifestyle. Definitely, it is unique. It is an example. Thank you very much for talking with us, giving us
Thank you
time.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.